Pretty woman moment. And there you have it. First sip out of the way. Now let's talk business. You're here to learn about how you too can get jewelry at over 90% off retail price. And yes, this video is the real deal. However, the strategy I'm talking about might not be what you have in mind. I'm not talking about something as simple as discount shopping or waiting for the sales, because let's face it, who has time to wait? I'm talking about you being proactive, going out there, getting the jewelry of your dreams at an even dreamier price. Sometimes up to 90% off of the retail sticker price, if not more. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Pamela. I am a business lawyer by trade. I have my legal YouTube channel. However, this channel is my personal lifestyle channel. In being my personal lifestyle channel, this channel focuses a lot more on my luxury everyday dabblings, from real estate to jewelry to eating out, hotels, the whole deal. Now, you again are here today to learn about jewelry, to talk about how to get the best price when it comes to jewelry. Jewelry is something that has fascinated me since I was a child. I don't come from a whole lot of bling bling myself, if you catch my drift. However, through busting it out in the educational system, I worked my way up to attend some of the world's best schools, start my own law firm, have very successful clients, and the whole 9 yards. And some of my very successful clients, so this is where me being a lawyer really helps this channel and the, commentary I'm able to make and share with you guys. Some of my law clients being very successful business owners, including brand name business owners, I've come to discover like the most sickening, and I don't mean in the sickening sense, I mean in the sickening sense, like physically makes you ill, to discover the margins of the jewelry industry are often over 90%. 90 to 95% is what I come across with a lot of my clients. So that the business world of jewelry has some of the highest margins I've ever seen across any of my clients. And of course, that's going to make me think, well, how can I reverse that and make sure I'm still getting the best jewelry, my dream jewelry pieces, but kind of, instead of giving the designer names the 90% markup, put it in my own pocket, put those savings in my own pocket. So that's what's inspired this video, because I've been a lawyer for some time now. I've had my own firm for over half a decade alone. So the lessons I'm about to share with you today, I've had some of them in my pocket for a long time, including the benefit of going to no-name jewelry shops, because the gold is the same. 14 karat gold is 14 karat gold from Tiffany's, from Cartier, from David Yurman, just as it is from the small guy down the street. So long as, of course, you can tell it's a reputable place, you get their stampings, you get the insurance certificates for your jewelry and all of that. But 14 karat gold is 14 karat gold. You are not getting a gold of a different measure, a better gold, by going to a designer place. You're not. You are paying solely for the brand name. Any goldsmith or jewelry artisan can make the same pieces of gold if they are skilled enough. So without further ado, let's talk about the piece that this video will focus on, the Cartier piece this video will focus on. I'm not too good at the special effects, so imagine like gold light, angel voice, the Mr. Bean circle, all of that. I don't know how this will focus. So that zoom in was to show you the three-dimensionality of the piece. It's clearly a 3D piece. It's not like a coin type of piece. It's also a fairly large piece. I mean, I have, I'm a tall girl and I have hands proportionate to my height. And this is significantly larger than like my thumbnail, for example. So it's a large piece. This piece had caught my eye. It's the classic panther design, and panthers, I always get them confused with like jaguars and leopards, but as it turns out, black jaguars and black leopards are called panthers. So it's not like its own species. There is no panther species. It's just a certain kind of jaguar or leopard. And Cartier is infamous for its panther designs or jaguar designs. You can use the terms interchangeably. And without going into the details, the jaguar is a creature that is very, very special to me. So I've been looking for a while now to have a jaguar piece. And of course, when you Google jaguar jewelry or panther jewelry, you're going to come across the big names because they're paying the most for their Google advertising, usually. So of course I came across the Cartier designs. And funny thing is, I started this journey so long ago that I could no longer, when I went back to the Cartier page, find the original piece that inspired this piece. However, I did find it on a secondhand store, The Real, based out of the US, and they had the piece being sold. I'll put the picture somewhere here while I'm speaking. They had the piece being sold, and when they sell the pieces, the upscale ones, they also tell you the estimated retail value, so you feel really good about the discount you're getting. And last time I looked at this piece was like a few weeks ago. It's going to say somewhere in the mid 20,000s USD. I want to say 24,000 USD, which, keep in mind, your girl is Canadian, so that is right now with the dollar like a mid 30,000 Canadian to me. No chance I was paying that kind of money. And to be honest, the one distinction between the pieces is that the Cartier one, it also comes in yellow gold, of course, but because I looked at a secondhand store, not the original source, this was like the version that they happen to be selling right now. Same exact price, by the way, for the yellow gold. There's no difference between gold colors usually. But the primary difference between that piece and this one is that that piece has some gems on the eyes and the nose. I want to tell you another anecdote. So just like the good stuff comes into my closet, sometimes it goes out of my closet. And I don't literally mean by closet, by the way. The more valuable pieces, I don't keep anything valuable at home. So it's not staying in my closet, but by way of expression. When I remember a few years ago, I started selling gold because a few years ago is when I started to be on the come up as a lawyer. So I started to, I could afford to now sell some of the pieces I didn't really love and buy even better pieces and so on and so forth. And I sold some jewelry that had like gemstones on it, onyx. I remember one of them had black onyx plates on this bracelet. The jeweler that bought my jewelry did not even subtract the weight of the gemstones in buying from me. Why would he do that? Does he want to lose money? No, it's because they're so freaking light, they don't make a difference. Unless you're buying a gemstone focused piece of jewelry, like a diamond ring, the diamond better be the heaviest thing on the ring. Usually speaking though, when the gemstones are details, they are so light, so trivial, like we're talking fractions of grams. Fractions. So again, I point that out because you would be, wise to observe that that is the only difference between that piece and this one. But it is a trivial difference. It's a red herring. It's a don't fall for it kind of difference because it doesn't really make a material difference in the value of the pieces. So I don't want you to be like, so again, I'm just trying to help you do the math here, right? And so this piece, like I said, around 24,000 USD, mid 30 something thousand Canadian. There is no chance I was going to pay that. No chance. Because the more we divert from the original, which is like raw gold nuggets, we convert that into a clean nugget. We convert the clean nugget into a shiny bar. We convert the bar into a bar with a stamp on it, so it's even more reputable. The more rounds we take from the original source of literal gold nugget in the dirt, the more markup. So if I ever had to sell something in case of an emergency, you always think of those thoughts when you come from very little. You always have the backup plans ready to go. But if I ever had to sell something for whatever reason, it is shocking to know how much I've been burned before trying to sell artisanal pieces where the value is in the craft or in the design, and they're worth like nothing, like 1/20th of the piece, if that, in raw material, in weight. This is a hefty piece. I paid for the gold and I paid a small markup for the designer's labor. This piece, again, I said I'm not too good with the special effects, so you imagine a drum roll in your mind right now. Drum roll, please. This piece came to just under $2,000 Canadian. That is far more than a 90% discount. I just did not want the title of this video to be like 9378.25% discount. So for the point of simple math, I said 90, but the truth is it's more than 90% discount. And I have the same exact looking piece, but actually far more valuable. What I could get in return for this piece would be, because of the weight of the piece, would be close to the price I paid for the sticker price of this piece. The designer factored in a few $100s for her labor. What I would get in return for the Cartier piece, if worse came to worse and I had to sell the piece, you know, for gold weight, I don't think would be 1/30. Like the piece would be worth even less than the difference in price. It's not the case that, you know, this being 90% discounted, the Cartier piece would sell for 10% of its retail price if you flip the 90. It would go for even less because it's even a lighter gold weight piece than this one. This is a heavy gold piece. Facets of the piece that I'm able to work on and tweak in working with custom jewelers. This is my little golden nugget to you boys and golden nugget, pun not intended, to you boys and girlies watching, trying to be as astute as you can with your money. When we're talking about gold, you better be investing as close to the real gold item and the value of the gold as possible. Don't fall for the scams. Yes, once or twice. Okay, there are certain pieces that really are special, that really are different, that you might want to be like, you know, here's the De Beers box it came with. This is, you know, whatever. But when it comes to, for me as a jewelry lover, I love the look, the feel, the shine, the craftsmanship. At no point did I say I love the Tiffany sticker. I don't love the Tiffany sticker. That's not what jewelry is about to me. To me, jewelry is about art and the collaborative process. Like, I keep my jewelers very busy. Even if I'm not buying something from them every day, week, or month, it's just the back and forth in dreaming up that next piece is something that is a pure pleasure for me, and the process of back and forth with a jeweler is just a bonus side effect to me of getting these pieces from the small shop owners. Not to mention, of course, supporting the small businesses at a time like this, where again, I know from having the background of being a business lawyer, small businesses are really, really suffering in today's economy. So that is just, like, these are all extra bonuses that come with working with the small shops, with the small jewelers. But long story short, you clicked on this video to learn how you could get over 90% discount on jewelry pieces that you see out in the market. And I think I've actually beat that number on this one by quite a little bit. And I'm confident you would be able to beat it every time as well. If you are looking for lifetime pieces like engagement rings, wedding bands, please go to the small shops. Be careful that it's a legitimate small shop, right? Once in a while, I've seen jewelry guys that come and go in the night. Make sure you go to a legitimate place that has a lot of reviews, even better if someone in your community has already shopped from them, and a place that is going to give you the insurance certificate to back up, you know, when it comes to the diamonds, GIA certificates is what you're looking for. When it comes to the gold, very clear written certificates and very clear stampings on the metal are what you're looking for. And the only last disclaimer I'll give is that, you know, don't be surprised if not every jeweler is willing to take on every task you give them. Some, quite frankly, don't have the skills, and others don't feel comfortable. Others, not every jeweler might feel comfortable, you know, doing a piece of jewelry that they feel, it's more of a moral right, especially with the artistic crowd, that they morally feel might be copying the work of another creator. Like, who is Cartier, the creator? This is not one person, it's entire departments dedicated to design. But some people, you know, have those feelings, and that's okay. If you hear that no, you go to the next store that's going to give you the yes you're looking for. But overall, I mean, one of the biggest hacks I could give you, outside of like concrete life hacks, but one of the biggest investment hacks I could give you is go to the small guy when it comes to jewelry. And of course, it's going to come with everything. I told my jeweler, I asked her if she wanted me to shout her out. She said, don't. But so I'm showing you like the nameless side, not the side with the name, but it's going to come with everything that it would come from the big guy, if not more. So this one came with a travel pouch. Of course, I'm trying to be careful not to show the logos here. Of course, it came with the box for easier stacking. I was surprised she even put like little wrapper inside. Like, they're not going to do that for you at the big box stores. Big box stores is like, here's your thing, don't come back. The very intelligent design here, and another case inside. Pretty woman moment. And there you have it. So it's an abundance of beauty at an amazing price. Why would you not want that? I hope this video has inspired you to be a little smarter and more careful with your money next time you're in the market for upscale jewelry. And of course, at no point in this video am I saying don't shop at the big names. More like the iconic pieces, like from Tiffany, their little like beaded silver bead bracelets. You know, I got that from Tiffany. You know, it's such an iconic moment. But when it comes to the more significant of pieces, I think the more major, the more expensive of pieces, the more I encourage you to look at the small guys, because in the creativity that they provide, you'll be able to come up with a lot of good for yourself, whether that good is savings or more interesting design, and so on and so forth, whatever the case may be. Now that I've talked your ear off, one last sip. And of course, give this video a big thumbs up. I take time out of my own schedule to share these lessons with you guys, because I know what it was like to have to stretch $1 a really long way. And there's nothing, you know, that's a practice. That's something I think should be practiced no matter how much money you have. So I'm happy to share all of my knowledge that can help you stretch that $1 today. And give me a comment. I love, like, your comments are my favorite thing ever about being on YouTube, because it's a sign of community. It's a sign of, you know, joy, quite frankly, and respect for each other. I love reading your comments. So let me know, is this something you would do? Have you ever shopped at indie jewelers? Indie, you know, short for like independent, individual. Have you ever shopped at indie jewelers? And if not, is it something you think you're going to try now that you have seen a little bit of the behind the scenes of what you can make, of what's possible if you do? I will see you next this Friday. As our updated banner says, we now post twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday mornings. So thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.